All right, today's speaker is fellow Bradenton Kiwanian Chief Josh Kramer. Josh Kramer was sworn in as City of Bradenton's 14th Chief of Police on July 8th, 2025. He holds the distinction of being the first Chief of Police in over 30 years to be appointed from within the ranks of the Bradenton Police Department. Chief Kramer's distinguished law enforcement career with BPD began in 1995 and spans 3 decades of dedicated service. He spent the first 8 years of his career as a patrol officer before earning successive promotions: sergeant in 2003, lieutenant in 2011, captain in 2015, and assistant police chief in 2016. He served in that executive role until his retirement in 2022. Following his retirement, Chief Kramer was elected to the Bradenton City Council, where he continued his commitment to public service. Notably, he also remained actively involved with the department as a reserve officer. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in criminology from Florida State University and is a graduate of the Lively Law Enforcement Academy in Tallahassee. Chief Kramer is also involved in numerous community organizations, including Leadership Manatee and Big Brothers Big Sisters. Please help me welcome Chief Kramer.
Thank you very much for allowing me to speak with you today. Congratulations again, Shaylin, and thank you for setting a bar that I am not going to be able to achieve for whatever I say the rest of this time. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try, just like we need to. It's really great to as a member. So officially, John, I don't know if you know, well, you probably know, I haven't gotten them to do my member moment or whatever. So this counts. This counts. So I've got a bit of about a minute and a half for me to finally talk about myself a little bit, because I love to. I grew up in the District of Columbia, in the district, not in some suburb, for anybody who knows the DC area. But I've always been asked if I have law enforcement in my family, and I really don't, but I do have a lot of government service in my family. My parents, my grandparents, uncles, aunts, everyone in the family, including my little brother, have been in public service, so it sort of ran in the family that way. We moved to Ocean City, Maryland when I was in 5th grade. Mom and Dad said, "Hey, do you want to move down to the beach?" And we're like, "Yeah," and sort of forgot that we live in the big city. Ocean City's a ghost town in the winter. So it went from, the big bustling metropolis to they take up the actual street lights, the traffic lights, they take down in the wintertime. So it was a bit of a change for us. Fast forward to, I went to Florida State. I wanted to become a meteorologist. Who doesn't want to be on TV or be a meteorologist? Turns out there's a lot of math involved in meteorology. And they told me about it, but I was like, yeah, sure, I'll be fine. Yeah, I wasn't fine. And they said, you might want to find a different major. So I ended up changing majors to criminology. My mom got really excited. She said, "Oh, he's going to be an attorney." I was like, "I'm not going to be an attorney." No offense to any attorneys or judges in the room. You do great work. But I was not about to be an attorney. And I told her that I was going to focus on law enforcement. And she said, "Well, that makes sense because you've been a rule follower your entire life, and you've always made everybody else follow the rules." So I just realized just recently I've been getting paid for 30 years doing that. So it's worked out all right. I came to Bradenton primarily. My wife, Maria, right here, loves hearing this one. My college girlfriend was from the Brandon area. And so, you're applying for jobs, you think you got a future there, and you put out a shotgun application of where you're going to apply. And Bradenton was the first department that said, "Hey, come work for us full time." So I came down, started Monday, May 8th, 1995. Friday, May 12th, 1995, that same girlfriend of 4+ years broke up with me. So, so then I realized one love's gone, there's another love starting up, and it was my love for the city of Bradenton. And so here I am 30+ years later, and it's all worked out. I'm not a meteorologist, so I'm here talking to you guys today. Not with that girl. So I'm here talking to you guys today. It's all worked out. Time for what everybody wants to hear about, not me. They want to hear about crime. right? They either want to know about crime or traffic. I'm not about to talk to you about traffic because there's really not much we can do other than a little bit of stuff with the games. We try to direct traffic in different directions. The city does not control any of the traffic lights downtown. That's all the county. Thank you, county, for all the hard work you do in keeping everybody moving safely throughout the county. But please direct your complaints to them. By the way, if people never really want to know how I'm doing, I am fine, by the way. Thank you for asking. But here are the stats. So crime stats, overall in 2025, from 2024 to 2025, we dropped 10%. We had 3 homicides. All were cleared by arrest. The first was actually just right over here, late night, overnight hours, fatal shooting at Rossi Park. We actually solved it within hours because the officers who were on scene were able to get descriptions out. We had an officer working at Blake Hospital who was able to look at the video from down here, the live feeds, and was able to see that the people involved down here were coming to Blake, and we were able to get sort of all our detectives talking to who they needed to talk to, and that all got identified. We identified both shooters and solved it very quickly. The second was shortly after I became chief. 4 young men tried to rob a drug dealer, and it didn't work out so well for one of them when the drug dealer shot back. And he is a strange thing. The drug dealer was actually acting in defense of his life, even though he was there to commit a crime. He's not in any type of real jeopardy, but the young man lost his life. The third was a homicide, which we identified the suspect within hours. He wasn't in the area. We thought he had fled out of the country because he was an illegal immigrant, but we did arrest him, and we now have a detainer on him at the jail. He will handle local charges, and then years from now, if he's still alive after getting out of prison, he'll go back to his native country. More crime stats. Larceny and theft offenses, primarily thefts from motor vehicles and buildings, shopliftings, purse snatchings, pickpocketings, things like that. Please lock your cars, especially if you're going to leave your guns in them. You'd be shocked how many guns we have stolen out of vehicles that then get used against the public at large. I mean, that's when we make arrests. We arrest people that have stolen guns on them, and they come out of people's cars. Please keep your cars locked. We had a big rise in narcotics cases, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. That porn category that's on there, might as well just say child porn, because that's really what it is. More on the weapons violations listed there later. Patrol arrests, we handle about that number on the far left, 100,000 plus, about 300 incidents a day. We increased our patrol arrests last year 73%, which is sort of shocking, but it was amazing work that our officers were doing. The bottom 2 boxes there are initiated by officers. So that's beat walks, which is an officer getting out and actually walking a neighborhood, walking through business plazas, talking to people in the public. And then close patrols, which is more just necessarily driving through a neighborhood or making themselves visible where the public can see them. If you look at those numbers, that's actually 48% of that total 109,000. That's about 48%. So if the officers aren't out there working, getting called to something, they're out there being proactive, and that's what we need to see. The criminal investigations section, or what I like to call the detective squad, they are doing a great job with the numbers they have there. A lot of cases assigned, a lot of arrests. It's not as simple as you see on TV where crime happens, interviews happen, suspects identified, next thing you know, person's tried and convicted in 43 minutes, because that's how long TV shows are now. It doesn't work like that. The judges, the attorneys in the room know it takes much longer than that. So the legwork our officers, our detectives do. One of the reasons our officers are making more arrests is because they're working with the detectives. A lot of times the officers will just take the arrest and won't have to go to detectives. Then the detectives get the more serious cases and work from there. CRT, Crime Reduction Team, is something that was established. They work in partnership with the Manatee County Violent Crimes Task Force. So they are Alpha Charlie Squad, Bravo Delta Squad, matched up the same hours, roughly the same days as their MSO counterparts. And for those of you who don't know, everything called Bradenton is in Bradenton. There's the city limits and then a line that most people can't see as you drive past it. That means you're now in the county. When you do that, the criminals don't care where the line is. They're going to do crime wherever. So we realized in partnership with the sheriff's office that so many of these crimes just happen cross-jurisdictionally. So we worked together with the sheriff's office. The big thing there, let's see, 320 arrests, mainly felony arrests. Notable is that last box, though, the 40 firearms seized. Our patrol officers seized an additional 114 guns and 23 guns that were taken via risk protection orders. Those guns, again, mainly stolen. They're mainly from people who weren't legally otherwise allowed to even possess the firearms or the ammunition. They're bad guys with guns looking to do harm to the public. Our CRT officers, based on all their hard work last year, actually received the Congressional Unit Citation Award from Congressman Buchanan's office. So thank you, Kara, for anything. I think you may have run that show for a little while. I appreciate it. Thank you. Next slide is narcotics. Everybody got to have the obligatory picture of guns and drugs and money on the table, right? I mean, that's what everyone wants to see. I realized we need to restart our narcotics unit in the city. Several years back, we had to basically staff patrol. Patrol is our backbone of any department, certainly our department. But as a result of making sure we had officers on the streets, the narcotics sort of got mildly out of hand. We had to do something about that. So I made sure when I came in that we started working right away to get that staffed up. Once we got our officers out of training and where they needed to be on patrol, we were able to get the unit officially started January 1st. Unofficially, those officers who were going to be part of that unit started working on investigations before that and really got everything moving. So we seamlessly moved right into it. Elder fraud. Who's received a call today from saying they've got $60,000 waiting for them for anything, for a new RV, for a new loan? I know I've gotten 3 calls already, and I have a protection on my phone to not be getting those calls. Those are scams, people, in case you're not aware. The bigger thing is I'm not worried so much about us. I'm worried about our parents thinking that that's something real. My mom, I love to talk about, up in Maryland, she got a SunPass alert in Maryland saying she had a SunPass violation. She doesn't even drive across toll roads in Maryland, let alone toll roads in Florida. So I told her, it's a scam, Mom. She's like, but they're telling me I have to pay. You don't have to pay. They're scamming you. So please just be on the lookout for that. Our numbers, right there, it's Barbara. She thought she was being scammed, and she reached out to our department. Turns out she had found money that was her, unclaimed funds, I guess we'll call it, $108,000 from when she was a switchboard operator for Ma Bell up in New York back in the 40s. So it was something that was totally surprising to her. The fear was that she was going to not open the piece of mail. So we ended up having it delivered to the station, and that's a picture of Detective Jim Carullo handing it to Barbara. And I'm using her name Barbara because it really is her name Barbara. I won't give her last name. But she's become very popular in her community, I can tell you that. But no, she's really, it's amazing work our officers are doing. Next slide. Our elder fraud unit, 1.24 million in cryptocurrency losses was from 20 cases. That's the new gift card scam. It was, if you look on our pie chart there, gift cards are a very small part of the scam. That's about $8 million total there, just like $7.94 million attributed there to all the losses. Last year's investigation has proved we're already hitting, I think, close to $3 million this year in just 3 months. So it went from $1.2 million in 23 to $4 million in '24 to $8 million last year, so we know it's just gonna go up. We try to educate our public. Those, Detective Carula, Detective McNeil go to numerous community organizations to talk about elder fraud, to educate our citizens. So they're doing great work to try to get things moving, but it still takes everybody just being vigilant and making sure they don't fall for the scams. Public safety initiatives, all right. In 2025, our department got $500,000 in grants to support fraud and identity theft investigations, canine units, drone programs, and training to promote officer wellness. The last there, the citizen firearm safety class, we'll talk a little bit more later. Also, we received $2.55 million in direct funding to go towards the Public Safety Operations Center at the new police headquarters, and which is the Public Safety Operations Center, which the city runs out in West Bradenton for emergency management, and then also for our new police headquarters, which is under construction. I'd say come to the window and look out at the water tower. I'm gonna go from a nice waterfront view to a nice water tower view here very shortly. And I'm telling you, that tower is looming right over my office, so hopefully it stays upright. Terrorists, stay away. All right, next one is, everybody loves to talk about school speed zone cameras. So we still have them in the city at all of our schools. They monitor the speeds throughout the day. In the 25-26 school year, so just since August till yesterday, $637,000 in revenues come through that. That's from 6,374 violations. We've issued actually 10,559, but we've only had the 6,000 paid. Out of that revenue, 248,000 and counting is going to go towards public safety initiatives, and 31,000 to help fund our school crossing guards. And it's limited as to what the dollars do, but that's where it really comes in handy for us. Ideally, the hope is that we make no money off that, and that everybody complies. However, we live in reality, and we know that people are going to speed, and they're going to speed through school zones. So there is some legislative changes coming to the laws, but will be nothing we have to worry about for a couple of years. But it's just a matter of moving our cameras to a different location or capturing another school beacon that says the school zone is active, things like that. Our Citizens Firearm Academy, we received funding through a grant from FDLE. If you notice there, for all of you gun owners who are out shooting, that's actually being held down at Shoot Straight, but we opened last year a range out in remote eastern Manatee County that is a joint operation by the MTC, the school board. Where's Kevin? There, all right, and City of Bradenton. So we'll be having our classes out there. Our BPD firearms instructors are the ones teaching it. You have to be a city resident or business owner. We've got a ton of, it's overwhelming the number of people who want to get into the class, but we're looking to do that. And it's just ideas to keep legal gun owners safe when they possess their guns. Recruiting and staffing. Back in 2025, in August, that man right there, Brian Thiers, was at the top of the list of people I promoted to assistant chief. I promoted 11 people total that day. One assistant chief, 2 captains, 2 lieutenants, and 6 sergeants. Combined, all of them had over 187 hours of, or years of law enforcement service. So great work. And one actually had 5 years as a firefighter. So Ben, he didn't come from you guys, don't worry. And that same month, I did the largest swearing-in ceremony in years of 12 new officers. 7 were from academies here locally that we sponsored. 4 were officers that came to their senses, moved to Bradenton, and came to work for us from elsewhere in the country or the state. We had one as far away as Colorado who came in, and one who I put in right as a detective, who retired as a special agent from FDLE, and he's actually working on that elder fraud unit because that was one of the things he handled. Fraud investigations were what he handled with FDLE. Back in February, we had 7 sponsored recruits, 6 who attended the Manatee Technical College, 1 attended Suncoast Technical College, and 3 experienced patrol officers, we'll say. They came from elsewhere as well, primarily up north. And when they came in, they joined what I've been calling the BPD family, because it's really what we are. We have 200 personnel total, 134 sworn is what we're allocated. We're never at that number we want to be, but we just can't get to it. And then about 65 plus or minus civilians. But everybody's in the same building for the most part. Everybody works together. You know each other on squads. You know each other from going to court. You know each other from training. Everybody knows each other. They know their families. And it really is a good, just a great sense of being when you're there. I've gotten a lot of feedback, and I'm happy that I've helped reestablish that. I think it was something we had for a lot of years. It's still around, but I think it's stronger now than ever. This next group also become part of that family, the sponsored recruit program. We average about 60 candidates per every class. So we bring them in first for a physical abilities test to see basically just some basic stuff that simulates what they're going to have to do day 1 in the academy, or day two in the academy, I guess, which is just what they call Hell Week, where they just run them like crazy, see who's going to make it, see who can't. We put them through that because if you get in the academy and you fail out, you're going to fail out right from that, right at the start. They don't give you a second chance. Out of those 60 plus or minus, we select about 10%. And our program basically pays tuition, but then also brings them in as a recruit officer. So they are earning a salary. Their job is working for us. It's not the same rate as a patrol officer, but it's a recruit officer. And it's been very successful over the last several years. We have a lot of great partnerships on both the local, state, and federal level. Locally, all of these agencies here, Sheriff's Office I mentioned earlier, we partner with them on the VCTF and CRT every day. Our property evidence unit is in constant contact with the property evidence unit at Sheriff's Office. Same with the CSI, our detectives as well. A lot of the other agencies, as we have cases that intersect, we'll deal with them. If we have big operations like with the regatta last week, we had multiple local agencies assisting us both on land and in the water. And so anytime we need help, we know we can call. Last week I was sitting here at a panel with myself, Sheriff Wells, Chief Tokacher in Holmes Beach, and Chief Tyler in Palmetto, but I'm using their last names and their ranks. It's Rick, it's me, it's Toke, it's Scott. I mean, we just know each other that way, and that's how we get along, and we're able to pick up the phone and call each other, and we just have a great partnership. Federal partners, all of the different groups listed here except for U.S. Marshals, we have an officer actually assigned to a task force with them. We have a joint terrorism task force with Detective Carpenters on that. The high intensity drug trafficking area known as HIDA through HSI, we have 4 officers part of that, 3 or 4 officers. It varies day to day. DEA, we have 1 detective who basically kills it with them. And Internet Crimes Against Children, ICAC, that's a dark one. That's one that I think our officers should be assigned at, do really well at, and get them off that unit because they see just the worst of the worst on that one. An exception to where we have task force officers assigned, that 287G through ICE, that's where we have 17 designated immigration officers who basically are certified through ICE, where if we come in contact with an illegal citizen or illegal immigrant, we're able to talk to them, detain them briefly, contact ICE and determine if they want to put a detainer on them. Also, if there's local charges potentially. But if ICE does want a detainer, they're taken to the jail where they're able to be kept for 48 hours until ICE comes and picks them up or doesn't. And then they can potentially bond out on any local charges they would have. But we're not just driving around saying, oh, you look like you're an illegal and we're going to take you. That's not the way America works here, at least not in Bradenton. So we don't do that. All these groups help us lead to great investigations, and we actually benefit revenue-wise from the outcomes of those investigations. The DEA one especially, we get a lot of dollars that come from that. Our community partnerships, this is just some of them. I was looking at the list, I was like, which ones didn't we put on there? Managed Community Foundation's a huge one that supports us. A lot of their donors want to donate, and then they say, hey, let's earmark some money for Bradenton Police because they want a new dog. We've been very lucky to benefit from their generosity. But all these programs, the Bradenton Blue Foundation is sort of our own foundation to help unmet needs that we might have, unbudgeted needs. Ministers of Justice are both Bradenton and Palmetto. I sat with them last week as they supported the initiative for the curfew in Palmetto, juvenile curfew in Palmetto. The grant program, we give out tens of thousands of dollars annually to the different groups. So we're actually required to give away 25% of what we take in state level on the forfeitures. And we give that back to groups that help the community. National Night Out, we had a great event. Sergeant Alex Emmerich right here was a huge part of that. Thank you again for what you did in getting that together. Our safety patrol program, we go to the elementary schools. Who here was a safety patrol as a kid? There you go. So now we do that in schools again. And it's a great sense of pride for those students and their families. They all come and like to see the celebration of them. Boys and Girls Club, obviously, the mayor's, what's your official title with them? Alumni? Or alumni, like Hall of Fame, I think. We're partnered with them. Big Brothers, Big Sisters, I've been a mentor for 10 years now. Elijah was in kindergarten when we started. He is now in 9th grade. Which then he passed my shoe size, like, I don't know, 10 years ago it seems like, but it's pretty close. But yeah, he's a great kid. And just other events we help out with. Officer wellness is huge for us. The days of suck it up buttercup are gone. Just I want to make sure everybody understands for police, all first responders, for the military, we can't afford to have that mentality anymore because things affect us. People love to ask, like, oh, what's the worst thing you've seen? Trust me when I tell you, you don't want to know, because it will make you crawl up in a little fetal position and go in the corner and cry, which sometimes we want to do. We feel like that's how it's going to affect us. We can't afford to just put that to the side anymore. We have a peer support team, and they really focus on mental health, making sure their mental health is strong, their physical health is strong, and also they're not alone. Like we all have seen it. We've all gone through it at one point or another, and we have our officers. Our team is available to assist really 24/7. And I know there's other agencies here. I know Ben's got a team out of West Manatee that's helped out. And I asked them to help out my team when we needed them this year to help just the team, because the team was helping all of our officers. The members of the team needed help too. So I appreciate Ben and his team out there. But also that let the officers know resources are available, that we have programs in places, we have partnerships throughout the region that really help our officers. Different retreats, different programs, different counselors, anything we might need is available to them. And it's not just for police, it's for first responders. The next is the Suncoast Police Benevolent Association has sponsored the Applied Mental Health Certificate Program at St. Pete College. I again, addressing job-related stress, peer support tools, and response to mental health crises in the field and within our department. Jordan Poulos, who's our homeless outreach officer, went through the cohort last year, and this year we have Officer Manuel Laurent and Tiffany Gordon who are there, which leads to this. Zach Butterfield was an officer with us who died by suicide back on July 24th. And still real. The sorrow and grief that befell our department really can't be understated. Our one thing that helped our department get through that was that established peer support team that we already had. I attempted to give sort of a calming presence to the department when it happened, and in the aftermath. The real hero of his death, however, is his wife, Michelle, because I'm only up here talking about it because she let us talk about it. She wanted his death to be able to help others. And left Michelle, son Johnny, who just turned 7 back in the fall, Olivia, whose birthday party we were at on Sunday with several officers. She turned 10. You never know what's going through somebody's head. I always thought, as an officer, and really up until this, I always thought it was so selfish, that people would kill themselves. But if Zach felt his best option was to kill himself, then clearly selfish didn't even equate in his equation. He was not in his right mind. So I really appreciate, again, Michelle for letting us talk about it. I appreciate our team for being there for all of us. And one thing that's hard to believe, the number of officers, there's always a focus every year on the number of officers killed in the line of duty. And knock on wood, we haven't had any slain in duty on duty here in the county for a long time. But twice as many officers die annually in America by suicide than that are killed in the line of duty. And I know a lot of first responders here are nodding, and it's not just officers. I mean, that's in all walks of first responders. It's happening in the military more and more as we have more and more veterans coming back from overseas wars. We can't put it aside and not talk about it anymore. It has to be something that we keep at our forefront, and we do that, and we honor Zach when we do that. Life-saving awards, I actually got to give out a few today, but Officer Mata and Vaughn found a child in a bathtub. Were called to an unresponsive child in a bathtub. They were able to provide CPR. They're both parents to small children, so it was very tough for them, but they provided CPR and restored the child's breathing right before EMS got there. The child is fine now. Officer Zach Butterfield, Officer Haas, and Officer Gates back last year. Man was having a mental health crisis and injuring himself with a knife in the front yard of a home. I'm sorry, that was right over here at Riverwalk, right? Yeah, right over here at Riverwalk, stabbing himself. They got there, were able to get him disarmed, and then started treating his wounds. And he survived only because of their actions. Officer Chris Giddens responded to a call, a welfare check. A woman made some statements to her family when he got there. She was actively hanging in her closet. She was still alive, and he was able to cut her down. It was funny, his dad, who's a retired officer with us, I say funny, it's funny because I'm using the wrong word there, but it's strange. His dad, who's a retired officer with us, saw his gun belt with everything he had on it, and he had scissors. And his dad's like, "You're never gonna need those." He's like, "Oh, you never know." Well, he used those scissors to cut down the woman and save her life. So really, it's a testament to his diligence and wanting to be the best officer he could. And then we just provided life-saving awards today to Officers Coachman and Stapleton and Lieutenant Seymour, who responded to that murder case out there in January out east at the medical office, where a gunman came in, shot and killed his girlfriend, right point blank, and then also shot the woman sitting next to her at a desk. The girlfriend was killed right away. The officers who arrived determined she could not be saved. They immediately started working on the other woman, and they 3 tourniquets, some blood clotting materials put on her, and they got her in an EMS coach and out to Blake Hospital. Several surgeries, but she's on the road to recovery. It's a long recovery, but she's on the road, and it's only because of their actions. From that, the dispatchers involved, there's 3 dispatchers, Rosie Bernal, Krista Wingard, and Michelle Anna, were the ones passing all the information on that case off to the officers, and also other responding officers and officers in the area, both police and deputies, about the possible shooter who we had identified. They got information on him, his vehicle, got it into the system, and it pinged on a camera crossing the river into Palmetto, and within 22 minutes we had that guy in custody, where he was apparently driving himself to the jail to turn himself in. The first statement he made when, well, I won't say it, there's judges here, but he immediately made a statement that implicated his part in the crime, but he was apprehended through their diligence, and it's really great teamwork on their part, not my part, their part. New facilities, very exciting. Knock on wood, let's all knock on wood. Let's see it. All right. November 1st, we're gonna be in the new building, right over here at the corner of 6th Avenue and 3rd Street, right across. We'll have new neighbors with the school district building. We already talked about getting a restaurant built there somewhere nearby, so anybody wants to build a restaurant, Kevin and I are probably your points on that. We promise we'll be there once a week. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. We outgrew our current department, our current building, the day we moved in. I'm hopeful we're not gonna be like that over here. But we want that to be a building, a good legacy for a lot of years, a great facade, and great facility inside. There's, Brian Thiers has been pointing on that, for some time. He's making sure we've got everything needed. Pretty soon they told us, we're gonna pour some more concrete inside, then just get the heck out of our way. And he said some other words than heck. But yeah, so we'll be moving pretty quickly on that. We got a new boat, very exciting, from Ocean One. It's a marine law enforcement vessel. It is a smooth ride, let me tell you. But that was funded by the West Coast Inland Navigation District grant, with both support from the city and county. So thank you, county. Towel's gone. All right. Social media. I always get asked about social media and who's running your social media. It's Meredith Sensula right there. Yes. She is killing it. With consultation from sometime, I'm not going to mention who consults with her, but yeah, we had a post recently had 22 million views. That's astronomical. It's viral. It's all those fantastic words. We've increased our usage, our viewership so much in the last, let's say 8 months or so. We surpassed MSO in the number of number of followers. I'm somehow an administrator on Facebook. I have no idea what the terms are, but it's followers. So, and I would say viewership, but it's not viewership. It's likes and all that jazz. But interactions, content, blah blah blah. But Meredith really does kill it. So really well done. Oh, I'm sorry. I have the official numbers here. 81,500 followers. More than any local public service page, law enforcement, government, firemen, no offense, Ben, in the county, with the exception of Manatee County government, which has about 83,000, so we're not too far behind. But yeah, we're moving pretty well with that, and it's really a great testament to a team that does it, but Meredith's the one who has been given a little latitude to, I tell her, don't poke the bear. When you get the people who, the trolls who just wanna, say mean stuff or totally counteract what you're trying to say, give them one and then just be witty about it and be done. And then let all our followers take care of those people, because that's what happens. I mean, we built up enough trust with our followers, so we put good information out there. And the plan, the bigger thing about that 22 million is we gained about 5,000 followers. So now when we put a real message out that's of a significant importance, not just entertainment or, something that makes people want to see us, then they're gonna get that, they're gonna follow that, and that's the bigger thing. I'm really more happy about the 5,000 followers than the 22 million. No offense, Meredith, but thank you very much. We're living in a different world than we were Friday when we went to bed. Most of us went to bed. We have an officer who is, I'll just say, serving overseas, but he is very close to what's happening. And he was over there before all this started, but he was called to active duty from the Army National Guard as Officer Ortiz. Very proud of what he's doing. Officer Smith is actually doing training stateside. We don't anticipate her having to be deployed overseas, but she's serving stateside in a training capacity. And then Lieutenant Borden is actually in Army National Guard Reserve and does his weekend duties every month. So that's my challenge coin. A couple of you in the room have it. I don't have enough for everybody, sorry. The state of our department's strong. My announcement to personnel when I got sworn in was simple, very simple. Do your job the right way and be kind. And it's not just words, it's not just a slogan on a challenge coin, it's an edict, really. And I've heard pretty positive feedback from the public on it. I've mentioned a culture of kindness that I want to have, and I was hoping, I know St. Stephen's had a tragic week, but Peter Kraft brought a culture of kindness to St. Stephen's. I stole that from him. He stole it from somebody else. I mean, that's what leaders do, is they steal good ideas from other people, and I'm not going to lie about it. That's how it happened. But that culture of kindness is strengthening our department from the inside, and that edict applies to me, and really me first. I try to apply it every day at work, every day at home. I hope I succeed. Babes, I don't know if I do, but I hope to. But if I have it there, if I have it in my personal life, then it carries out to everybody else. And hopefully everybody else sees it, and then it spreads. And you never know where that's going to stop. So, but I want it to succeed. I always try to succeed doing it. But I know that I might not, and I can accept that. But I will be kind in how I'm trying to do things, and I won't accept really anything less. Thank you all for letting me be here today.
I think Josh talked long enough to avoid any questions. Was that planned?
That was perfect. Oh, wow. That wasn't really long.
Thank you for all that great information, Josh. And of course, it is a Bradenton Kiwanis tradition to present you with a golden ruler to measure your future success and the future success of your department.
Thank you so much.
One more. Thank you, sir. If anyone else needs to do a member minute, please let me know. But normally they're 1 to 2 minutes, okay? 1 to 2 minutes. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. Please join us next week. Next Tuesday is International Day of Women Judges. And we will have a panel of our county judges, including Judge Gould, Steele, and Inman. So please join us again next week. Hope everyone has a wonderful week. If you are on the grants committee, we are meeting right now, as soon as this meeting is over. So, all right, meeting adjourned. Thank you.